Hi, welcome back to Dow Twang. I'm Dave. So, man, I didn't want to quit playing over that track there. I like that groove, and just when you settle into that, it just feels really good. Same one I used a couple of days ago. So, some of you have been working on that. Some of you may be stopping by for the first time. It's all good. It's still going to make sense. I'll make a thumbnail and listing for this one that's very similar to the other one, and maybe put a part one and a part two label on there so you can put the two together and have a really good session with this. Um, it's A minor and G. Okay, so we're treating this as a G major, a 2-1 in G. Okay, I got a real dirty sound here, so playing the chords isn't going to be a great demonstration, but basically just that kind of Dorian jam sound, right? You take the A minor Dorian, look at it that way, it's those notes, which are the same notes in the G major scale, just beginning and ending on A rather than G. Okay, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time, reviewing those scales, but that's just the scales that are being used, and G major pentatonic. Okay, so a lot of the kind of just bluesier stuff. Okay, those are right out of the G major pentatonic. Okay, a couple different places that you could do that, and I put a diagram up on that one the other day that showed that one map that kind of traverses, a few different positions that sort of thing. I'm not trying to just blaze by that on you, and make assumptions that everybody's, fluent in all of that. But that's a snapshot of the material that's being used in terms of note sequences, with the addition of a couple of real, I'm going to limit this to a couple of things, but the real distinctive things. And that demo that I played today really featured this in just a couple of places. And that's using, extensions of the triads for those two chords mixed in. I know this sounds like a lot, but hang in there for a second, because I'm going to show you a way to, put this together that's going to work for just about any level. Given that you have some practice with playing these scales and so forth, you don't have to have it all memorized. And so when I say extensions, we're talking about notes above the triad. So, let's listen to our track here for a second. I'll just kind of show you a couple of locations of triads for this. There's an A minor, just a kind of a common one. And there's a G, and then there's some other places you could. Okay, we'll do one more up here. Okay, now, don't worry if you didn't, you don't have to stop and practice every one of those right now, but it's more of the idea, right? You want to, as you work with the guitar and get more comfortable with it and get into it deeper, depending on where you are now, that's one of the stages, right? Is you got some scales, you have blues scale, I can kind of jam over simple progressions. But what's this stuff about the chord tones that they're talking about and everything all the time? Well, you want to start with the triads. And it's not like, you're going to trade the triads in later for some fancier, more advanced way of playing. I mean, it's always going to be the triads, right? And extensions of those. So today I am going to show you just a couple little ideas about adding a little bit more of that, a couple more chord tones to those triads for each of those chords, and just mixing that in there just to get a little bit of that edge, that melodic edge that you may have felt or heard in that intro. It went a little bit beyond just the pentatonic stuff, right? Some of it's just, how you stylize your pentatonics, just the bending and the phrasing and stuff. And in the video a couple of days ago, we really stayed focused on the phrasing aspects, leaving space in the measure and so on and so forth. So I don't want to, get past that, 3-minute board, cross that line where, it's like, is this dude going to play something or not? Right. So here we go. Okay. So, A minor. Okay. That's our root. Our third, which is C, the root's A. Our minor third is C. And our fifth is E. The fifth is always going to be the same note, whether it's a major or minor triad. Just a side note, but that's good news, right? That's, the third is the thing that kind of defines whether it's major or minor, right? Now, how do we know that those are the notes? Well, if I don't have all of this memorized, how would I know that? Here's how you do it. We're in the key of G. And this is relevant to where we're going with the extensions too. And this is a pretty quick explanation, but it's a good one, and it's a one that you can use yourself very easily. You take the notes that are in that G major key, the river of G, right? It's G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, and back to G. Now, for any chord or mode that's in that family, that key of G, you just start on that root instead and count up. But using the same notes. That makes sense? Now, here's how this works with finding out what your chord tones are. You can just count up every other one. It's the odd numbers. Root. I'm emphasizing the root. 2, 3, 4. Now, if you keep going, and we're just counting numerically here that's the fifth. So I made it up to the fifth. That's the sixth. And that's the seventh. That's how you add a seventh to your triad there. Now, this is all given that you're in a distinctive key. If you change the key somewhere in the song or something, you got to do something different. But in this piece, these two chords, this is all going to work, just like I'm describing it to you. So we got. If I went to the next tone, you could count 8. It'd be repetitive of the root an octave higher. And if I went to the next one, the 9, see how I just keep going incrementally up that sequence of notes. I'd get. All right. Now that's the 9. All right. It's a whole step above the root, but it's defined as being stacked on those other tones: root, third, fifth, 7, 9. Okay. Now, a couple times in here, I really laid into that. So here's the A minor. All right. Now I threw in some little bit of G stuff there too, and a little bit of pentatonic. But here, if I isolate just that arpeggio, the notes of that A minor 9. Okay. It just feels so good. I don't want to just sit and you're not here to watch me play, but man, this is fun. When there's something really hooking you in about me, at least about that nine, especially that nine, the seventh as well, and just the triads and this whole business of approaching it this way. When you hit that nine, there's something that's both inside and outside about it at the same time. There's some hidden treasure if you start hunting down the ninth like that in these simple progressions. So obviously, I'm excited about the ninth. Now, you could do the same thing, of course, for G or any other chord in this key. But let's just do it for G real quick. I'm not going to spend as much time on it. Then I'm going to just show you some mapping and get you to your practice loop so you can jam. Now, same routine. And that time it's just the major scale, right? We're starting on the key that we're in, the root, the one chord, G major. But I'll do the sorting out where our root thirds and fifths are, our triad for. Oh. Root third fifth. And I jumped the gun. I went to our major seventh. So the six is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's a major seven. The note's F sharp, right? There's one adjustment from the white keys on the piano in the key of G. The F is sharp to make the do, re, mi, to make that sequence a major scale. So we've got, if we add that to our triad, we've got. Okay, so we can count it out up there. Root, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, different parts of the neck and octaves and things that you can do those note sequences and chord tones stacking with extensions of the triads. And, hopefully that demystifies it a little bit for you too, right? It's not just that you have to memorize this incredible amount of material and all these chords and you have the means, the understanding and the methodology to derive what those notes are and, what it's really like to play in a key. And, it's really a fascinating thing. And it's complex, yes. But this is kind of a good basic aspect of all of that, right? So spend a little time on this. So we need to find our 9 for the G as well. So we keep counting. We get to 8. It's the octave, We keep going in that same river of notes, the same note sequence, just up to the next degree. Right? It's the 9th. Okay? So it's always the odd numbers. Just think of it that way. Now, let's put this on. Let's review the A minor one. There's 2 basic shapes for them, one for each chord. Now let's put this on. Now we'll wait and see where we are. That's going down to the G. So, and we'll just do some simple. There's a little routine, right? Okay, well, that's some nice, you get all those chord tones going in there, and, some of them really have a good feeling. And then, You don't want to wear that out, so you mix that in with a little bit of pentatonic stuff, a little bit bluesier. Keep it simple, leave a lot of space. There's one other thing that I did in that intro that I want to show you, and it's really more the pentatonic shapes or notes. Doesn't need a lot of explanation as far as the theory of the notes that I'm playing, but just it's really to demonstrate that you can do the same lick over two chords a lot of times, or over different chords in a progression, and they'll have a different meaning. They'll have a different flavor and everything, right? And the riffs the licks that I used to demonstrate that in that introduction today were okay, and just any variation of that. But here's what happened when I did that across both licks. So back up to the A minor. Okay, and try it with the other licks, just kind of blues your licks. See? Right? I love that because it's like you're playing something completely different. It's literally the same thing, but the background, the track, the progression is changing behind it. That's a really cool kind of element to add into your playing, and it really helps the listener kind of settle in and understand what you're saying musically. It's a theme, right? Effect. So I just wanted to throw that in there. I don't want it to be a kind of a rabbit hole, a completely different topic. The nuts and the bolts of this one today are, work out those triads, add those extensions, do that kind of off to the side, then put that track on and just relax with your G major pentatonic stuff and just play, some kind of bluesy style licks. And then if you want to put some of the diatonic notes in there, meaning just the G major scale sequence, you mix some of those in, some of that in there. But, just keep it simple and leave a lot of space. Imagine yourself, see yourself wandering through a musical landscape, right? Not just kind of like looking at the ground, right? How it's all, you're entering, you're walking around in different spaces and then going to another space and so forth. And, I know that sounds kind of pie in the sky, kind of freaky or whatever, but it's all there, man. You just got to really find something that you feel comfortable with, where your hand's comfortable and your body's comfortable, and just repeat it. And just let that track change behind you and let it carry you through the song. Let me know how it goes. All right, I'll talk to you next time.